So what is the transgender worldview? Now, I'm not talking about individuals who suffer with transgender or what's called gender dysphoria. What I'm talking about is a larger gender revolution that is taking place in our culture, in a sense, from the top down. Well, if we want to understand the gender worldview, let's first ask the question, what is a worldview? A worldview is just a belief system that really answers three questions. What is creation? What is the fall? And how do you fix it? How do you bring about redemption? Creation, fall, redemption. So the Christian story is God created us to be in a relationship with Him and other people. The fall is sin. We rebelled against our Creator. And the solution is found through believing in Jesus and accepting the gift of salvation, which is offered free as a form of grace. This is the Christian story. Well, the transgender movement has a very different story about reality. You see, the creation account, we are not made in the image of God, certainly not as gendered beings. Rather, humans have come about through some blind evolutionary process. There's no fixed essence of what it means to be human, certainly not a fixed essence of what's meant by gender or even sex. The fall is these categories of sex and gender that have been oppressively applied to people bring suffering in their lives. There's an author by the name of Travers. In her book, The Transgeneration, describes it this way. She says, "My general argument in the book is that trans kids are incredibly vulnerable because of the way in which gender identities are imposed on children in general, with particularly negative consequences for trans kids." So the problem is, gender identities are oppressive to young people and really people as a whole in the culture, and it brings suffering. So the question is, what is redemption according to the transgender movement? It's giving people the freedom to define their own sex and gender identities. In fact, ultimately, it's getting rid of gender as a category by which human beings should be understood. The point of this is to show how clearly the Christian worldview has a story about reality, and the transgender worldview has a story about reality. The question is, which worldview is true?